Welcome to the 29th Miami Jewish Film Festival, the largest Jewish film festival in the world. We want to thank all of our members, sponsors, community partners, volunteers, and all of you film lovers, and especially our presenting sponsor, the Center for the Advancement of Jewish Education and the Greater Miami Jewish Federation, for their continued support throughout all these years. My name is Dr. Ofer Margalit, and I'm honored to moderate this conversation with the director of the movie Wildland, Gil Arbel. It's a visually striking documentary that explores Israel's rich wildlife landscapes from the green valleys in the north to the deserts in the south. The film captured the wild variety of animals and stunning natural scenes filmed over several years. Thank you, Gil, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Gil, let's start by you. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how first you found a way into the wildlife cinematography.
Well, I think it started in a very young age with my mother, who was crazy about animals, still is. The house was always full of animals, um, and my grandparents came from South Africa, and they told me stories about the animals in Africa. And I loved movies like Jungle Book and Tarzan, and I watched BBC wildlife films from a very young age. So I think all this really affected me as a child. And when I grew up, I instead of going to school, I went to the beach and watched the sea and the animals of the creatures of the ocean. And no wonder I started as a underwater wildlife photographer in Eilat, at the Dolphin Reef in Eilat,
Hmm.
about 30 years ago.
Wow.
Um, and there I fell in love with professional photography and wildlife photography. And then I looked for places to film, and I found this amazing place in the islands of Tonga in the South Pacific, where I went to film humpback whales for the first time. And when I came back, I sent my footage to the BBC, and I joined the crew of Planet Earth about 20 years ago. And I started working professionally as a wildlife filmmaker with the BBC, with National Geographic. Um, and I traveled a lot. I traveled around the world, filmed many different animals. And 5 years ago, when the corona hit us and they closed the skies, so I couldn't go anywhere. So I had to stay in Israel, and I started to film in Israel. And luckily, I found an amazing world of wildlife and nature, which I fell in love with.
Mhm.
And I started filming all around the country, in the desert, in the north, and I started to collect different kind of materials and different kind of animals and behaviors. And I realized that there's so much. I mean, it's more difficult to film, much more difficult to film animals, wild animals in Israel than it is in other places like Africa or South America. Um, because we don't have a lot of wildlife, and it's very difficult to film because we don't have the big spaces like Africa. So it's a challenge. It's a big challenge, but it's more rewarding because it's more difficult, and it's ours. It's ours. It's our small country, and I think one of the most important things that, especially these days, when it's not easy um, to market Israel to the world. So I think it's important to show the world the beautiful side of Israel. And there's nothing like our nature and our wildlife to do that, to do so. So it's a kind of a mission to show the world what a beautiful country we have, and what a diverse country we have, and different kind of climates, different kind of animals. And I think this film shows the biological diversity that we have to offer, and that's very important. And I hope that as many people around the world will see it and learn about our wildlife.
This is very interesting, Gil. Thank you. So, as you mentioned, and maybe I want to just speak a little bit about that also. The filming the wildlife is often can be very unpredictable. Maybe you can share with us some of the main challenges you faced while making this specific movie, and how did you deal with them?
As I mentioned, the most difficult thing about filming, well, it's hard to film wildlife, but it's especially well, when they send me to film, let's say, humpback whales in Tonga. It's easier because you focus on one species in one area. But when I film wildlife in Israel, it's more difficult because it's a bigger area, and it's all kind of wildlife, and we don't have the luxury of big open spaces. We have a lot of military zones and developed zones, and you can't just go for hours and hours and drive, and then you see nothing but nature.
Mhm.
So the challenges are first of all the space, the limited space you have, and there's not a lot of wildlife, and most of the wildlife we have, it's active during the night, it's nocturnal.
Mhm.
So you have to use special lights and special kind of cameras to film at night, which makes it more difficult. You need a lot of patience. You need a lot of time. Most of the time, you come back with nothing. You just if it's in the desert or in the ocean or wherever, I just sit with my camera and I wait. I can wait for hours, days, and even weeks when nothing happens. So um, it can be boring. It can be difficult for those of us who think that the wildlife photography is fun. It's most of the time it's not fun at all. You sit in very remote places all
Mhm.
alone with the very difficult situations, all kinds of weather, very hot, very cold, rain, snow. It's not for everyone, not at all. And but this makes it even more special because when you do get to see something or film something special, you appreciate it more because of the time you spent waiting for it to happen. So it's very, very rewarding, and what you see in the films is maybe 1% of all the hours and the days and nights that filmmakers like wildlife filmmakers like me wait for something to happen. So when something does happen, it's I call it a magical moments.
Yes. So it's unlike actors, like in the regular movies, where you can tell them what to do. So it's
Exactly, exactly.
predictable here. It's a very
You cannot
unpredictable environment. Yes. Mhm.
exactly you cannot tell animals what to do, which makes it more difficult.
Yes.
But they surprise you all the time. I mean, nature keeps surprising me all the time. That's what makes it so special. You never Many times I go to look for something and I find something else, and so it's never boring.
Is there a special story specific for this movie? Maybe you can share with us one of the viewer just saw the movie, so maybe something we missed. Well, something
Every
very seamlessly.
every sequence, every scene is a story on its by itself. Maybe the rarest thing of film is we went to film something. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning in the desert, and totally by accident, one of the crew, saw a wolf running, and we didn't understand what's going on. We didn't really see it. It was just just the beginning of the day. The sun hasn't come up yet, so we could hardly see him. He saw this wolf running, and then we saw that he's chasing a young gazelle.
Hmm.
My wife started filming with her phone until I got the camera ready, and as I hit record, the wolf caught the gazelle. So we were very lucky. I think it's the first time ever someone has ever filmed this unique behavior in Israel. So that was probably the most special or yeah, rare thing we've filmed for this episode. Um, uh, another well, exciting. Well, everything is was exciting for me, but maybe the hyenas, which are very rare to film, especially in the middle of the day when I was sitting there not far from them and watching them. It was really moving. I even cried a little bit. Uh, so yeah, I get emotional when I watch wildlife and I watch animal when they're not afraid of me, and I can just sit and film them and watch them. It's a privilege. It's a privilege. I see it as a gift, as a privilege to enter their world. It's like they're inviting me to their home, and it is their home. First of all, it is their home, not ours, and we have to respect that, and we have to keep them safe, and we have to guard them, and that's our job as humans, as people. Um, so yeah, you're gonna see all these stories, all these little stories in the film, which it's actually starts in January, then February and March, and we're already preparing the next film, which is Wildland 2, and this one will start in April and May, and
Wow.
so on. So it's actually a series of films
Hmm.
which cover the whole year of the wildlife in Israel.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So right now it captured the winter month.
The winter and the beginning of spring.
Spring. Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about the threats that the wildlife in Israel is facing. What, from your point of view, is will be the most serious threats right now for the wildlife in Israel? Is it the climate change, the shrinking of habitats, the lack of water, or is there anything else?
It's everything together, it's hunting. The hunting is Israel is increasing, unfortunately, and there's no control over it. Decreasing of land. Uh, Israel is a small country, and the population is getting bigger. So they keep building new places, new cities, new
Yeah.
and 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 chasing the animals away from their natural habitat. Uh, Poisoning. We have lost so many animals like vultures to poisoning. Um, Pollution, plastic. Uh, the ocean is polluted. Um, we have sea turtles that are dying. Um,
Yeah.
we have like the rest of the world, we're no different, and
Yeah.
perhaps because we are too busy in other things like wars and security, so wildlife and nature is not in our first priority. So
Yes.
it's neglected, and it's very sad. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing this, to show this generation how important it is and how beautiful it is, and and for the next generations that will see what was here before we got it instinct. So
Mhm.
yeah.
That's really brings me to my next question, which is one of the striking things about Wildland, that it showed the side of Israel that they never see on screen. There is no politics, there is no military, there is no social tensions that we usually see in the news. Was that your goal by making this film, to show this lesser known side of the country?
Yes, absolutely. And that's probably one of the reasons I was so drawn to making wildlife films, because to me it's what the world should be like.
Hmm.
You know, I think the world, well, I'm a bit extreme, and I think the world should be without people. The world would be much better off without people. But no, as you said, no politics, no hatred, no
Also, no humans at all, if I
no
correct.
human. Yeah, yeah,
You
exactly.
don't
I
see the
think
one
I
human being, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, no, people ask me why I don't film people in my films, and I say I honestly think that the world, uh, you know, uh, um, we were not always here. Animals were here way before us, many years before us. Since we arrived, we've only caused damage and ruined this planet. So, to me, it's a perfect world without humans, only animals. I think the planet would be much better off without us. And maybe it's hard to hear, but I think it's true. I mean, we are the only species that not only that we don't contribute to the planet, we destroy the planet with the damage that we've done only in the last 100 years is unbelievable. And it's we're in the middle of the sixth greatest extinctions on Earth ever, and we are the cause of it. So I'm sorry, but that's what I believe. I believe that every animal has a part
All right.
in the circle of life, and we've broken this balance a long time ago, and we keep doing it, and it's very sad.
Yeah, I
We're
think.
not we're not the human race anymore. We are more the selfish race.
Yeah, I think towards the end of the film, there's a powerful message that you're saying about living besides nature and not above it. Uh,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly, and that's because I'm realistic, and I know that we are going to be here for a very long time,
yeah,
and we have to live with nature. We have to coexist with wildlife. We have because we need nature. Nature doesn't need us. That's the point. We need nature much more than it needs us, and this is what we have to understand. Without nature we have no right to exist. We need nature. We need the trees, we need the animals, we need the air, we need the water. And I think people don't really realize how much we need those things. When If we disappear, nature will recover, but if nature will disappear, we won't recover. So we have to live side by side by nature, and keep those animals alive, and keep our ocean and our air clean in order for us to live. So
absolutely.
that's the message.
That's a very important message for sure. And This will bring me for my last question, Gil. Just in a more of a light atmosphere to end the interview. For someone who is visiting Israel for the first time, what natural places or wildlife experience would you recommend to see? What is accessible?
Well, there's a few places where the public can go and see wildlife. Maybe the most important one is during winter in the Agamon Achula
Mm.
in the north, where you can see tens of thousands of cranes and seabirds and birds of prey and all kinds of animals. Um, Maybe down south in the desert in the Arava, you can see ibexes and irexes, um, all these desert animals, which are amazing. Even lizards and foxes, hyenas, if you're lucky. Yeah, there's a lot to see. If you like wildlife and especially birds, people from all over the world, because we are one of the biggest centers of bird migration in the world. So if you love birds, come to Israel and you'll be happy.
So you say to leave a little bit the urban area of Tel Aviv and Jerusalem.
Yeah, yeah, leave the urban areas. They'll always be there, but wildlife will not always be there. So, spend some time in the nature, in the wild. Israel has got a lot to offer.
Okay, Gil, I want to thank you for sharing this powerful vision of Israel's living soul, the wild, beautiful, and alive. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Once
Thank you,
again,
and
yeah,
enjoy the film.